So I had an errand to run today, and I drove by Home Depot, and I decided to stop there because over a week ago we went there, and they had the cheapest vegetables. Oh, look, they've got more on sale. 3 for $10. That's not bad. I don't know if the strawberries are on sale or not. Okay, well, that's $3.33. That's good. And then they've got the tomatoes. I don't know really what I'm going to get yet. What I'm looking for is I want to get some zucchini started. Oh, this is good. You know these flowers? I planted them over a year ago, and they're coming back already. That's a good price too. 4 of those 6-packs for $10. I don't know if I'm going to get that today. Okay, and tomatoes. Oh, wait a minute. Is it all the other plants too? Because I'd like to get an eggplant and maybe a strawberry. The only problem is, see that? They've got chemicals in there, and I don't know if the strawberries that are growing on there right now, because it doesn't have time to get rid of all those chemicals, if they'll be in the strawberries. Would it matter? It'd be just a few? I don't know, but it's there. I mean, they literally have to put the warning label on there. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. It depends on the price of these things. I don't know if they're going to be 4 for $10 because it says tomatoes only. And I'm not looking for tomatoes today. I want to start with one thing at a time, or they're going to sit and not get planted. Let's see what else they've got. Plants look okay. Not bad. So let's see what they have over there. I should check out over there and see if there's any zucchini. So for today, I'm just going to get the zucchini I found. It's not the greatest, but it should do, and the strawberries, because I needed a few more for my tower, which I started the other day by salvaging what was in there, but I have some empty spaces. But we'll get back to that another day. Today, we're going to get the first zucchini for the season planted, and you're going to be with me. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California. What do you think I did in that junk pile? Well, I just found a basket. Now, let me show you something real quick. These baskets are probably about 7 years old, and they really should be retired. Let me get this apart, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, now this one I cut open to protect the plant. This one's doing really good, but the top is gone. This is so I can either put it in a pot, maybe to protect something that way, drape tulle over, or leave it that way. But I set this up for something. Now this one is really ready to go out in the trash. But I'm going to get a little more life out of it right now. And what I'm going to do is, I think this one's a little bigger. I'm going to put this over this one. And I had it set up right. No, can't go that way. It's got to go the other way. Hold on. All right, had it right. And I took it apart. For now, this is the way it's going to go. And now this can protect a plant that I want to plant. And where are we going to plant it? Well, it's going to be my first zucchini in the yard. And I think we're going to go with this tote because it's been sitting. I've got all kinds of stuff growing in here, and I have no idea what these are. Could be from the tree, could be from anything. But my first zucchini is going to go in there. And then later on, when I have a little more time, I'm just going to wrap some tulle around it. Okay, so we've got all the totes lined up here, right against the dog kennel. Though it is temporary, it's okay. I may not get to it for months if I'm going to move them. In the meantime, why not use them? So we're going to go ahead right here and plant the zucchini. It won't be in anybody's way. Now let me show you what I've got here. This is what I ended up buying. They gave it to me, I think, for half price because yesterday it looked dead. And I showed the guy, it was all dried up, and I came home and I put it in a pot and I soaked it in water and they popped back. They're really overgrown. You really want something a little smaller. A lot of times when plants are smaller, they grow much faster than plants that are, this big. But I'm going to separate them too. There's 2 to a pot. Let's see, are they all? Yes, each one's got 2. And I want to separate them and grow them separately. So I may be able to get 8 plants out of here, but I didn't even think yesterday I was going to get 2 the way they looked. All right, let's get this planted in there, at least one, and then I can do another one later on. But this will be my first zucchini. Now note on here, it's a hybrid. So if I keep these seeds, it's hard to say what would happen. I could get a really nice fruit. I could get a fruit that is not edible. it may grow only a couple, and there are some hybrids I found out that won't even grow fruit. It might grow fruit the first year, and then the second year they stop growing. It depends on how they produced it and what is in there. But right now, all we want is our first zucchini for this year, and this is the first zucchini being planted here. All right, let's get this thing planted. So I'm gonna get this planted, and this will be the first zucchini planted in the yard. Cool, for spring. So if you watch, you know that I filled all these totes up in the beginning of the year with all kinds of kitchen scraps, and Gary loves his passion fruit. So that's a bunch of passion fruit shells in there. Look at that. And then I just build on top. I add in any soil from the ground that I can find. I just put it on top and let the microbes and the earthworms and whatever's in there break it down. Fungus, mold, whatever is growing, it will break it all down into the beautiful growing medium that I have in all my totes. Now, if you don't want to pick up soil from all over, you can always go and buy bag soil. But Gary doesn't use a speck of purchased soil in his garden. And with me, sometimes I use a tiny bit for my plants, but right now it's so expensive, I'm making my own, and why not? Nature makes its own, that's the way I'm gonna do it. So as you can see, there's still some eggshells or corn on the cob there and whatever else is in there. It's not gonna hurt anything. You saw there were plants that were already growing in there. So it's just gonna continue to break down. This is live soil. It's not dead. You open up a bag of soil, there's nothing in there, right? You've got wood chips and who knows what else they put in there. But with mine, it's living soil. It's the soil you find all around you, under flower pots and rocks. Now, this squash is really overgrown, but they only had two, and this was the better of the two, and it wasn't watered when I brought it home. It was bone dry, but I soaked it overnight, and it kind of sprung up. Now, young zucchini plants are really easy to work with. Oh, you should see how I torment them. If I see them coming up somewhere and I know that they were somewhat pure, I yanked them out right out of the ground, stuck them somewhere, gave them a good water. In about 3 days, they pop back up and they take off growing. So I'm not too worried about young zucchini plants. So I'm going to go ahead and, as you saw here, I separated the two. Each one of those pockets have 2 plants. So if I'm successful, I'm going to get out of there at least 8 plants because it's a 4-pack there. Now I'm going to dig my hole there and just kind of get it in there the best I can. The biggest thing right now is to keep it well watered because I've already damaged the roots on it. And some of you are already yelling, going, no, you can't hold it like that. And you know what? I always do. I have lost some of these roots so much that there's almost nothing left and they still grow back. But I'm kind of propping up the plant, but I want to make a divot around this plant. So when I water like a well, it's going to go down. Look, I planted some zucchini seeds and I don't know what happened. They never grew in there. So they're still there. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in a few leaves and wood chips, anything I found around the ground to kind of help prop it up. That's the main thing. It will also hold a little moisture in. Now, I'm going to have to be careful because there's going to be bugs in there that may eat my plant. It's happened. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I do, and it works almost all the time. So it might be something you'd want to do too. We'll do that in a few minutes. But right now, I'm just trying to prop the plant up. And when I'm done with everything, I'm going to make sure it's well covered so no birds will go in there and get it. I will have to quickly, within the next week, maybe sooner, get that basket off that needs to be retired and cover the whole thing in tulle. But right now, we're doing that. Now, I went around the garden. I picked all kinds of leaves. It doesn't matter. There's celery in there. There's some brassicas, tree leaves, whatever I found, and I'm going to push them in the corner. Is that feeding my zucchini? No. Now we want to make sure we keep watering this zucchini plant the way I yanked it out 2 or 3 times a day until the roots are established in about a week. And what I do is I keep a watering can close by on hand. It really works, but you can use any vessel full of water and sit it next to your container that you did this. So when you walk by, you water it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of tulle just in case, because I saw some roly-polies in there. Just as an old piece from last year, just kind of whatever you've got laying around. I'm going to roll it around the bottom. Does this stop roly-polies? Not really, but it does slow them down, because sometimes when they go by it, they're like, a lot of them, I don't know what this is, I'm not going to bother with it, and they kind of crawl on by. So I'm going to deter a few of them, because I do know there will be roly-polies in there and other things. And then I'm going to take a piece of wood I just found on the ground, anything, it doesn't matter, it could be cardboard, and I'm just going to push the leaves a little bit into the soil, and I'm going to water them as if it's a plant. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the wood that I found, a tree bark, and I'm going to lay it on top. Why? Because that's what really the roly-polies want. They want someplace to hide and someplace to feed. So hopefully they go under there and they leave my zucchini alone. The next thing I'm going to do is I just found this old stick around here, and it's going to secure that basket until I change it out to tulle, so no bird will knock it down. And there it is. Now you saw me do the whole thing. We're done. I'm going to keep this plant well watered, and the 4-pack, which now has, 7 more plants left in there. I'm going to have to keep that well watered too. So I hope you enjoyed this. We'll watch this thing grow, hopefully. And with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. And spring is here for us. It will be there for you too soon.